Hello friends, and welcome to the Lighthouse. For today's Qigong gathering, I'm so happy to be with you here for 30 minutes of flow and feeling into freedom. And today is a special day. Every day is a special day, but today is a special day because we're leading into the last super full moon of 2020, which will be happening tomorrow morning. The full moon will be. As the sun is rising, the moon will be peaking, and it's the May flower full moon. And so that means that because it's a super moon and it's a full moon, that it's a very ripe opportunity for transformation. We've been talking a lot this week about the gift in the opportunity to transform, to transfigure, and to transurf in our relationship to practice and our relationship to life as a whole. So take this moment that we'll never get to lean into again. You never step into the same river twice, right? And so here we are in the reality of what is. Take this moment, no matter how complex this modern moment may feel. Give yourself permission to practice the art of being, to access a heart that is unencumbered. All of the seekers and the wisdom keepers the world over throughout time immemorial have been interested in and devoted to unveiling and accessing a heart that is unencumbered, to know a kind of quiet beingness and at the same time a kind of quiet fearlessness in the haven and in the harbor and in the home of your own being, in your field, in your hara. Tune in that way. And we've got 4 A's to prioritize in today's Qigong practice. The first of which is awareness. So let yourself be in a kind of bare bones mindfulness with the reality of what is, not the reality of what was or the reality of what could be or what we think should be, but the reality of what is, practicing awareness with that. And acceptance is our second A. Accepting the wabi-sabiness of it all, the imperfectly, perfectly formed moment, expression, situation, circumstance. Accept, include. And activation is our third A. So use every breath, every movement, every moment as an opportunity to activate your chi, to activate your life energy, to activate your prana, to awaken and activate any love, force, intelligence that might be lying dormant in your heart, to activate that and to integrate it, to generate it so you can deliver it. And the fourth A is acceleration. So use it all to accelerate your ability to transform negative energy into positive energy. That is the most powerful energy in the world. The energy that we transform from negative to positive. If it's gone through the transfiguration process, it's so strong. It's like when you break a bone. When the bone heals, it's actually stronger once it's knit itself back together. So let's get right into the somatic part of our time together here, into the language of the gestures. You know, we take everything in our lives and we turn it into a language. So let's begin with this being the full moon cycle. Let's begin with carrying the moon. This is a beautiful initiatory form that's going to, I'm standing on a very squeaky spot. Back the puppy up here a little bit. Hopefully that's better. Carrying the moon. watch for a second. I'm going to demonstrate, and then we'll do it all together a bunch of times. So I'm going to begin by just really yielding to the flow and collapsing all the so-called solid bones of my spine down. I'm hanging my head, and I'm going to go all the way down to as far as I can, but I'm not worried about how far or not far I've gone. I'm just going down. Now I'm going to orient all 10 fingers in towards the imagined meridian out in front of my body. And I'm going to elongate and extend my spine out of the big shell of my pelvic bone as I slowly make my ascent. As I accelerate the movement of the life energy of the body, as I activate the life energy of the body, I've got a little bit of a bend in my elbows so my arms are triangulated. I'm going to draw my chin in here and I'm going to lift up high. Now I'm going to hang my head back and lift up even higher. And then I'm going to trust and surrender and tip back. Come back through to neutral. Open the arms out to the side. And bring it home to the hara. So that's the whole choreography of the form, carrying the moon. Let's do it a whole bunch of times. Be very aware at the level of feeling. Be very aware of your feet at the floor. It's the relationship that you have to gravity that's going to allow you to grow longer and stronger and brighter. All of the articulations come from the dignity of the spine. So let's collapse. Fingertips in towards the meridian, and then slowly begin your climbing back up. Draw the navel in, so you've got a slight hollowing out going on in the ball of the belly, in the cave of the belly. Now push the palms to face the sky, hang the head back, tip back from the area behind the heart. Come through to center, push down through the balls of the feet and through the bottoms of the big toes. Look forward and then open the arms out, side to side. Collapse. And begin ascending, listening to the wisdom of your body. It is whispering immense messages to you. Let yourself get on to the other side of all the noise that we all carry. For myself, when I practice, it's like a little sabbatical. Back through, open the arms out to the side. Listening to the wisdom of the body, participating in the language of gesture, the alphabet of movements that give you the discipline and yield liberation. Press the palms down to the floor. And then lift the energy up to your belly, up to your heart. Offer the energy forward. And make one circle inward with the left hand, please. And with the right hand. Beautiful. And then ground the hands. I'm going to kick my right leg out in front of me, so we're moving right along into the next form. So I've kicked the right leg out and I'm going to really settle into the spine. When we practice, the forms themselves are like somatic koans. They're riddles that help us unwind the mystery that we find ourselves in so oftentimes, almost always in life. The somatic inquiry into the riddle, into the koan, into the choreography that is the form, helps us in a way that analytical thinking can never and will never be able to serve us. Thank goodness for the analytical thinking, but also thank goodness for both options, right? So this is called arcing the double rainbow. So we've got this somatic inquiry and we have the intellectual inquiry. Feel how they're both happening in simultaneity. So we've got both rainbows. Watch, I'm going to demonstrate without words. Okay? At a certain point, as we're doing it all together, I'll offer you the next krama, the next iteration or elaboration of the form. But for now, let's just start here together as a whole. So right leg out, I've anchored down through the back base of my right heel. I'm going to cross, bringing the right hand and wrist in front of the left hand, and then bring the arms up. Bring both palms together. Climb the spine, relax the shoulders, draw the chin in towards the pit of the throat, and then open the arms. Flex through the wrists. Push energy out. Have about 15 pounds of pressure in each hand, and push. Looking beyond the tip of the right middle finger. Now cross the hands and the arms again. Out in front of the right thigh. Squeeze the bones, squeeze the femur with the large quad here, and then bring the arms up. Transition to face the other side. Press the palms here, lift up long and strong from the base of your tailbone up to the tip of both middle fingers. Open the arms and look beyond the tip of the left middle finger. Press, 15 pounds of pressure in each hand. Cross. Transition. Arcing the double rainbow. Press. Cross, right hand and wrist in front of the left. Hand and wrist, squeeze the femur and the right leg with the quad. Inhale up. Transition. Squeeze the femur and the left leg with the left quad open. Push, 15 pounds of pressure. Looking beyond the tip of the left middle finger. Bring the left hand and wrist in front of the right hand and wrist. Squeeze the left femur with the left quad. Inhale up. Transition. And open. Push. Pressurization. Use the pressurization to create the thawing out, the melting. A few more times. Trusting the wisdom of your body, listening to the wisdom of your body. In full awareness and full acceptance, in absolute activation, and in a willingness to accelerate. Cross, lift, back and forth. Now see if you can find the fluid continuity of it, oscillating back and forth. See if you can close your eyelids down to 9/10 of the way closed. So just to remind you, I'm constantly sprinkling in this suggestion in all the sessions that I share, but just to remind you that when you practice, you don't need 58,000 different forms, nor should you. Remember the power of one. Maybe you really feel a resonance and a sense of home with this form, for example. This happens to be one of my favorites. And it's not uncommon for me to go out into nature and to do just this single form for 15 minutes. And remember that you don't need 90 minutes. Do it for 15 minutes and let it really work on you. And it will. Just the power of one. Keep things simple, especially in these complex times. Keep things simple. I'd like to go, like I promised, we'll go into the next deeper iteration of the form. It's the same flow, the same oscillation. The only difference, you can either choose to do this or not. The only difference is to hinge forward versus the crossing of the wrists and arms. The wrists and arms will cross out in front of the toes. And then you come up and transition. Open. Hinge, cross, and lift up, transition, and open. The art of being, no mind, from busy mind, quiet mind to no mind. Right leg forward, please root down through the base of the back heel. Either cross the hands in front of the thigh or hinge and cross the hands in front of the foot. Inhale, come up. Transition. Open. Push. Hinge. Left hand on top of the right hand. Coming up. Open. Push. A couple more. Bring it home. So we've got quiet beingness and we have quiet fearlessness. This is a tall task for the human mind. But even if we just get a glimpse of it every now and again, that can be very meaningful, it can be very insightful, and it can create direction and discipline and devotion in our actions and in our attitudes. This is a beautiful form for helping with that. There's grace and there's power in this form. This too is also one of my personal contemporary favorites. This is Koan carries the moon. So it seems relevant that we practice this in this session here now, given that we're right at the precipice of the last super moon of 2020. Okay, so have a peek. I'm going to demonstrate without language, and then I will talk us through it and we'll flow all together. So that gives you a visual of the form once on each side. Let's do it together. So taking a stand, stand primarily right here on the right foot and bring the left big toe up to the inside of the right knee. Take the arms up. Relax the shoulders. Draw your chin in towards the pit of the throat. And kick the left leg out to the side. Touch the big toe, ball of the foot, and then heel. And now tuck the right knee behind the left knee. It very well may feel like two puzzle pieces coming together in a way that feels easy. And then sitting down into it. Open the elbows out to the side. Go down to whatever place feels like you're playing your edge. Be in that state of experiential somatic flow where you're undeniably feeling challenged, but also still comfortable, okay? It's that some semblance of comfortability that allows us to cultivate a caliber of consciousness that's good, okay? So be challenged, but still stay stable. Stand, please, very sturdy on the left foot now and bring the right big toe up to the inside of the left knee. Begin lifting the right knee up to the inside of the right armpit and take both arms up. Now open the 6 innermost fingers. Keep the base of the palms together, thumbs together, pinkies together, lifting. And kick the right leg out to the side, touch the big toe ball of the foot. Heel and then tuck your left knee behind your right knee and sit into it. Elbows out to the side. And unwind. Stay in the somatic koan, in the riddle of the feeling mind. Come up to standing on the right leg. Slowly trace a line along the inner right lower leg, along the inner right knee of the thigh. Lift the left knee up towards the armpit. Arms up. Gaze is soft. Nothing to protect, nothing to defend, nothing to prove. Kick the leg, drop the foot. Tuck the knee, settle into it. Twisting, so you're getting that lovely detoxifying twist in your left kidney primarily here. And undulate through the spine. Standing on the left foot. Elongating through the inside of the left leg. Right big toe is tracing a line along the inner left lower leg, along the inner left knee. Lifting through the right leg, relaxing the left buttock bone. Let it melt and cascade down the back of the left thigh, down the back of the left knee, through the gate of the left heel into the earth. And then take a stand, open the arms out to the side. Bring the hands home to the hara. Bring your hands up to your heart, your human heart, your heroic heart, your hologrammatics heart, your haven, your harbor, your home. From the hara, from your head, and through your hands, take the life force forward. Left hand inward. And right hand inward. And both hands into the earth. Embracing the moment, embracing the impermanence. Allow that to give you a deeper sense of acceptance and appreciation for the reality of what is. Embracing the impermanence. We never get to step foot in the same river twice. It's always changing. Rotate the palms of your hands to face forward. Bring your feet together so that the inner lines of the feet are nearly touching but not quite. Okay, so moving right along into a fish form. I'm going to bring my right big toe back behind my left ankle, and I'll bring my right hand back alongside the hip with the palm of the hand facing up. It's going to station itself and stay positioned there. The left arm is going to reach forward. So it doesn't matter how small of a form you express or how large of a form you express. There are a few key elements that are going to be the same. And those are keeping your shoulders facing forward, keeping your heart and your head upright and bright, okay? So either staying here with just the foot kicked back, which can be enough of a challenge for the equilibrium and the balance sometimes, depending on what your biochemistry is like, depending on how much sleep you got or did not get, depending on how distracted or emotionally high-strung you may feel. Lots of things that can go into play with the balance. But it's good to utilize balancing postures and forms. They do so much for us. So you can stay here or lift the leg. Try just lifting it a little bit. Try being in the buoyancy of your fluid body. And then try lifting without lowering the heart and head too much. They will inevitably lower a little bit. But keep the squaring and the forward orientation of your shoulders, your heart and your head. And then lift the right leg. Swimmingly, smilingly coming through. Bring it all in. And place the right foot flat alongside the left foot. Position your left hand alongside the left outer hip, palm facing up. Kick the left big toe and foot back. Keep the toe at the floor for a moment's time, or maybe for the whole time. Right arm forward. Staying here, or begin lifting the left leg a little bit. Or as much as you like. Slowly bring it in. Use your core intelligence, core competency, unconscious competency as you engage in the somatic conversation, the somatic koan. And one more time on each side. Bring the energy up into your heart. Down to your hara. And Feel what the discipline that brings liberation has been doing for you, inside of you, as you. On the screen behind your closed eyes, feel how fully alive and activated and accelerated your enthusiasm molecules are. This is important so that we can continue to count our blessings versus dwelling in the disasters. So important in this time. So before we move into the last form, give yourself permission to surrender into the stillness of the unencumbered heart. The unencumbered heart. Having patience with everything that seems potentially unresolved in your heart. Saying yes to loving the questions. Bring your feet, please, to the width of your hips. This is plucking stars. I'm going to do it without language, and then we'll do it with the verbal cues, and we'll flow for some time together collectively. I'm backing up because I'm on this squeaky spot again. So I'm going to reserve. Oh, I'm doing it without language. Animal noises. Coming back through. So I've just demonstrated the form once in each direction. Begin by finding the luminous ball of energy out in front of you. Be a bride, be a groom of amazement. Collapsing and rearranging, drawing in form, releasing form. Radiating in, radiating out. Good. And now bring your left hand in front of your left shoulder, not touching, but out in front in the field in front of the shoulder. And bring your right hand out in front of the right hip. Still very much aware at the level of sensation of this energetic ball that you are holding, that you're creating, commingling with. Now bring the right hand up. When your right hand hits the level of the shoulder, rotate the palm the other way. Now pressurize. Have about 15 pounds of pressure in each hand, pushing your left hand down and your right arm up. Begin looking over your left shoulder. Now rotate. Bring the left palm to face the sky and the right palm to face the earth. Begin to draw your gaze to face forward. 99% stardust we are. So, when your left hand is at the level of the left shoulder, rotate that palm to face the sky. And the right palm will continue to face the earth. Pressurize through the hands. Push. Pushing chi. Transform your stress into vitality. And if you're like, I don't have any stress, first of all, you're very lucky. Second of all, that gives you even greater runway to generate vitality. An even brighter caliber of it. Looking to the right. But if you happen to have stress, use the alchemical moments and the potency that is the practice to transform it. When your right hand is on the level of the shoulder, rotate the hand with a quick flip. Push the chi. is the seen, and there is the unseen. You are pushing the unseen, and in between the seen and the unseen are the doors. Rotate the gaze to face forward, left palm to the sky, right palm to the earth. Begin the reversal. Energy grounding down, energy rising up. Apana, prana. Left palm with a quick flip will happen when the left hand reaches the level of the shoulder, and then pressurize. Go deep into the pressurization. Squeeze the tuning forks of your bones with your musculature. Looking to the right. Position yourself in the poise that is the grace we experience when we're practicing, and the grace that's on the other side of the practice. Position yourself in that poise. Pressurize. Bring it home. Straightening the legs. Inhale wholeheartedly into the top of your lungs, into the center of the lungs, into the back of your lungs and bottom of your lungs, to your breathing body. Feel all the small compartments of the lungs in full bloom at the precipice of this full moon, the fullness of the inhalation. So simple, so elemental, so humble, so alive. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you feel really good. Look forward to seeing you again very soon. Sat Nam.